Yo.
Hello.
Okay.
Yo.
Everyone, welcome to the third episode of the streamer interviews. I am the streamer who is interviewing my third guest. Her name is 2Bratty. Thank you for the raid earlier, bringing your guys across to me. Um, Let me ask you straight away for you to introduce yourself. Who are you?
I am your worst nightmare. But other people call me 2Bratty, but I'm Romy, so.
Okay. How'd you come up with the name 2Bratty?
That's a very good question. Honestly, it was back in my Tumblr days. Those were some dark times.
Wow.
That was it.
Tumblr.
It was just Yeah. Did you ever have a Tumblr or
No.
know about Tumblr?
No.
No?
No. I think that was
Yeah,
more of a more so a woman dominated thing.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, Tumblr, discovering Tumblr and listening to Lana Del Rey is why I've turned out the way that I have.
Hmm.
It's a
Okay.
dark path.
All right. We'll get into it for today then, huh? How long have you been streaming for?
Coming up to 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Jeez. What would you say one of the biggest achievements or like the most memorable ones in that time would be?
I think my most memorable one and my proudest would just be my work with generosity. Um yeah, I'm so always so grateful that I discovered generosity and they welcomed me in with open arms. And yeah, getting to host my own panel last year at PAX, which obviously you were a part of and you were amazing in it. That was a key highlight because it was just nice to see where I just started from my room just being bored one day to now being on stage at PAX and using my platform for good. So that was, yeah, definitely my proudest moment.
It's a good answer. Um, what are the main games or the content that you do now?
Well, I do a lot of chatting. I am very good at yapping for hours. Um but I started out with just Mario Kart, purely Mario Kart. I would do like 12-hour plus streams constantly of Mario
Jeez.
Kart. And then yeah, I don't know how I did it. I can barely do 2 hours without losing my mind now.
What?
But someone suggested to do just chatting and I was like, bro, like what the hell am I meant to talk about? And I think for the first few times I did just chatting, I think I did like 20 minutes and I was like, I give up and I went back to Mario Kart. But yeah, I got used to it. Now people can't shut me the hell up now. So
Yeah. Yeah. What's the longest time that you've sat down at your PC and streamed
like
consistently?
continuously,
Continuously,
I
yeah.
would say I want to say it was either 15 or 16 hours.
Was that for a celebration? Was it just for some whatever?
It was literally just nothing. I just was locked in playing Mario Kart and that was
Jeez.
about it.
From
It was
what time
during
to what?
lockdown. We had nothing better to do on lockdown, so I just
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, do you work or do you stream full time?
I've obviously besides lockdown, I essentially always had a job while
Yep.
streaming, but only as of very recently, like in the last month and a bit, have I actually been doing this full time.
Okay, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think the transition between balancing work life or even studying life as well to your stream stuff over the years, do you think that's been really hard to adjust yourself to or
Yeah, it's been quite difficult. Um because I'm a hard worker. Whenever I have a job, like I'll always tell myself I'll do like 20 hours a week so I can still stream. But then I always end up doing 30, 40, 50 hours because I'm just a workaholic in that sense.
yeah.
And that would then make it difficult for my streams because I would stream but only for a short amount because I'd be exhausted.
Mm.
Um and then I think I was also studying at the same time for the first year and a half of streaming, and it was a bachelor of biomedicine, so it was quite like a lot of work, like a big workload. I think I had to take like 2 months off just to like study for exams and make sure I actually passed and got my degree.
Yeah, right.
um so that always made it difficult for sure.
Do you think during that time was that before or was it after you got partnered?
Oh, I think
I think it was before, just from
yeah, I don't
outside
know. I
in.
actually can't remember. I can't remember the timeline. It's all blurry to me.
Yeah.
I think I either just like I'd graduated or I was like in my very last semester.
Right.
Yeah, I think I think I might have actually been in my last semester.
Okay. Do you think that part of the time did you care if you were like, I guess let's say I'm pretty sure it was like before the time you were like, if you were grinding for partner or anything like that. Do you think that it was a hindrance to like growth when you took the time off for study and everything like that, or you just obviously knew that you had to do it for you?
Yeah, I definitely like it's always scary taking any time off. Even taking a week off of streaming is scary. Like you come back and there is a dip in numbers straight away. 2 months off definitely really affected me, like numbers wise and just like not as many people coming in. But I had to do it
Mm.
because I'm honestly like despite like what my streams are very scuffed, but like me as a person, I'm quite a perfectionist and I'm very hard on myself. And if I didn't get the scores that I wanted for my like degree in my classes, I would have just beaten myself up. So I knew for my own sake, I had to like stop streaming for a bit to make sure that I didn't want to look back and be like, oh, if only I just, studied a bit harder. I didn't stream as much, but I'm glad that I did take the time.
Yep.
But obviously coming back from that, yeah, numbers were low, but like I didn't mind because it was the right call.
Yep. I think especially where this industry of ours, where we have to rely on those, and you got to keep going. I guess with like it's hard to stop because it's like, even like you said, you take a week off, you take like 4 or 5 days off, whatever, you're immediately like pushed back to the bottom, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I think where you've had to like make that call to be like, I really need to focus on study, or if it's work or anything like that, it's at the end of the day, it's whatever is best. I know that's really cliche to say, but it's really what's best
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
it really is. But yeah, it's like unfortunately we are in the industry where they reward like consistency.
Yep.
And that sucks because that doesn't allow for when you've got personal stuff going on or studies or work or you're just physically or mentally not feeling up to it. Yeah, it's just yeah, you essentially get punished for looking out for yourself.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is in this industry.
Yeah. It is. That's like the perfect word to describe it. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
going to move on to a few more personal questions now.
sure.
Do you live at home or with family, or is that something you
Current
keep?
pardon?
Oh, I was going to say, is that something you keep like away? Obviously,
Yeah,
like
I just keep it away just because,
weirdos.
just yeah, there's things that's just best to keep to yourself.
Yep, of course.
I've had to learn that the hard way.
Oh, of course. Yep. Um, what's your background or your nationality?
So I am half Serbian, and then I've got like a bunch of like other things, but like I guess just Australian's the easiest way to put it.
Yep. Um, I've noticed that you've had your mum in chat many a time.
Yes,
Big supporter. How do you think?
yes.
What's it like having someone that like backs you and is so supportive of what you do?
I'm incredibly blessed. I mean, growing up, I've always been so supported by my family. Whether it's been, any hobby I've done from swimming, dancing, anything. And obviously streaming is obviously a confusing thing to that generation because they don't really get it. But never once did my, family doubt me. They
Mm.
trusted me and they backed me and supported me through and through. And I'm so incredibly, thankful, especially because it's not even just supporting, it's also understanding and like learning what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, my mom now kind of knows Twitch and understands how Twitch works. Like, she took the next step. Like, some parents will just, they'll just support, and that's amazing. But my mum took it the next step and was like, I'm going to learn Twitch. And,
Yeah.
she understands Twitch now, which is, I'm very blessed for that.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
I used to think that having parents' involvement in anything, in gaming or anything, was so lame. And then I changed that mindset because it was like, it actually is really, really cool. It's a really cool thing having supportive parents or step parents, guardians, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And it's just such a invigorating feeling when you've got like people who back you like that. How did you, when you first told her about you wanting to do Twitch and stuff, what was her reaction?
Oh, I can't even remember. Because it was, like, honestly, it was a spur of the moment. Like, it was during lockdown. I had nothing better to do. I had this PC just sitting there. And I was like, oh, I'll stream. And I think I just told her, and she was like, what's that? And I just, like, briefly explained it. She's like, okay, have fun. And I'm like, and I think she also, like, I don't know if that day or another day, like, she made an account and started supporting. Like, the more I explained to her, like, streaming, the more she kind of was like, oh, okay, like, she got it. And, like, more, at least she was, like, more frequently coming in. Like, she was, like, my number one supporter, really. Like, she would, I think she would have, like, 2, like, accounts watching to boost my numbers, just, like, that one extra number.
Hey, look,
She
we've all
was
done it.
such a
Let's be real.
sweetie. Pardon?
We've all done it. Let's be real. Having like,
Yeah, well, I didn't know she was doing it. I didn't know she was doing it until she told me. I was like, oh, she had like, the main account that she was watching from and chatting here and there. But then there was like another account. She's like, oh, this is, this just watching as well, just to boost your numbers a bit more. But now
like
she's
the
like,
extra step. That's crazy.
Yeah, and she's like, you don't need it anymore. She's like, you don't need the support anymore. I don't do it anymore.
Wow, good on her. That's like the extra step forward, because it's like, when I told my mum about it, she was like, oh, okay. Because her being an Asian parent, I have to explain a bit more relative. So for someone like your mum who would understand, it's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, I'm going to go out of my way to have that extra account for it to boost you, It's really, it's real proactive.
Yeah, which, like, I don't think I even, like, I don't know if I really explained, like, say, like, obviously when you first start out, you don't have affiliate. You need whatever average viewership. I don't think I even explained that. I think she just kind of, like, picked up on it. She's like, oh, okay. But, no, yeah. Definitely been, like, the number one supporter. It's really wholesome.
It's cool as.
Yeah.
So when you're not streaming or doing your thing or whatever, what are some hobbies of yours that you do?
Very recently I got into anime, like, pretty heavily.
Okay.
Like, I started watching One Piece. I think I was properly watching it in October, and 1,000 episodes later, I'm, like, actually up to date now, which is
so you've actually gone from, like,
insane.
the whole thing with One Piece. You've just really gone all in on it, hey?
Yeah, that's the thing. I, like, every year I have, like, a new hyperfixation. Actually, no, that's a lie. Every month I have a new hyperfixation, but some of those hyperfixations just turn into an actual fucking obsession.
Right.
And that's what happened with One Piece. So that's one of, like, my hobbies, but it ties into, like, another one, which is collecting trading cards.
Yep.
Which I was mainly doing Pokemon for years and years. I've been a massive Pokemon fan for ages now, and I've been collecting on and off for 10 years, I want to say. I'm in my kind of out of collecting Pokemon phase at the moment, but it'll probably pick up again soon. It always does.
Yeah. With how Pokemon had, like, taken off, specifically, I want to say, you can tell me if I'm wrong here. I feel like Logan Paul, when he was buying all the OG Pokemon cards and everything like that, do you think there was a big resurgence because these guys and then streamers like XQC and Mizkif and all those guys were doing it on Twitch? Do you think that was a huge thing to sort of inspire, or to be like, oh, like, these guys are doing it and it's becoming cool again, or it's becoming like a big thing again?
Yeah.
Do you think that would have, like, such an influence for, like, the world?
100%. 100% it did. Like any card collector that I've talked to, or even collectible store owners that I've spoken to, they say like Logan Paul, like he pretty much like picked it all up, everything picked up again, and it just created like such a, I guess it was like a trend. It was like a trend, and it's just like everyone wanted to hop on board. And I just remember I was always a very casual collector. Like I would go into EB Games and buy a pack here or there. But at this time, when Logan Paul and all that brought it back into mainstream and popular, you couldn't just casually buy a pack. It was all pre-order online, limited per customer, and like pre-orders were like sold out immediately. It was an insane time. Like during that time, I personally stopped collecting because I couldn't be a casual collector. I had to like wait for the drop and pre-order in time, otherwise it'd be sold out. And I was like, nah. But I mean, I love that it did, shed light on it and made it popular again. And it's still riding that high, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's becoming cool to have these collections and showing them off, and not just being like, oh, these guys are nerds, or it's like, oh, it's only for cardboard kind of thing. So it's kind of cool that, especially where you brought up One Piece, you would only think that Pokemon would be the only juggernaut, but this year alone has been massive for One Piece, right?
Yeah, well, last year was really when One Piece just took off. I mean, I think if I'm right, I believe 2022 at the very end is when they kind of started doing One Piece TCG.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much since the drop, it's been incredibly popular. And the cards are like crazy expensive, and the actual card game itself, I've heard is really fun. I've never played any of the like card games of like with any cards that I own. I just personally collect them. But I've heard that the One Piece trading card game itself is really fun.
Would it be something that you could get into or even try out?
I've had people like tell me like, you should try it. It's lots of fun, but getting English One Piece cards, which you obviously need for these tournaments, is really difficult right now because of the hype. It's so hard. And if you do find anything, that's double, triple the price.
Yeah, jeez.
It's bad. It's bad. It's like Pokemon, essentially. It's like when the height of Pokemon, when it was hard to get anything in stock, that's like how English One Piece is right now.
Jeez. Okay.
Yes.
It's probably just the old classic of like the supply and demand, right? So didn't expect the demand to be so incredibly high for something like this, and then all of a sudden it just went, hey.
Yeah. I mean, that's just trading cards in general. There's a trading card for everything. Like back like however many years ago, it was just like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and like Yu-Gi-Oh, and some sports, whatever. But now like there is trading cards for everything. There's such demand for it now. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to switch it up now. We're going to get into Twitch specific questions that I've got for you here.
Nice.
How'd you find my Twitch channel?
You were recommended for me. Like I reckon it'd be like 4 years ago now.
Yeah,
I would say.
think so.
Yeah, I would say you were one of the first streamers that I followed and possibly subscribed to. I would say.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I do remember it was like 4 years ago. I think I caught you on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Some things never change, hey?
Nope.
Speaking of Twitch, what are your thoughts on the current state of Twitch right now?
They're doing their best. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, especially because they just recently had like a rule change.
Yep.
Which to an extent I agree with, because this website is easily accessible for like, I guess, younger children. And that content, like, that was recently kind of toned down. I think it shouldn't always be shown off in that way.
Yep.
But I don't know, I feel like I feel like Twitch has it difficult, with just whatever changes and keeping up with the times, but also like having to maintain like some kind of branding or like safe branding.
Yep.
I think it's difficult for them, so I don't try and talk too much smack. I think they're trying their best.
Yeah.
They're at least trying. I will give them that. But I mean, it hasn't been easy, especially with like a bunch of staff that were recently let go.
Yes.
And that heavily affected OCE, for example.
Very much so.
That's just a really crappy situation for everyone all round, because there's not enough staff, and all these staff members have just picked up all these jobs, and it's really difficult, and I sympathize with them for sure. But
Yep.
yeah, I think they're doing their absolute best, and I guess that's all we can really ask for.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a bit more harsh on it. I'm not asking you to be. It's just on the topic of like the recent ban. I think it's well needed, obviously, when you can literally have someone who's got a clear chair, and then they're wearing underwear, bikini, and they have the camera up there. It's like, come on. At the same time, the only thing I would defend for it is it's bringing Twitch money. So it's like they're not going to be like getting rid of it completely, because it's a huge source of people who are watching and giving and everything like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird trek. I just think there is definite things that they could implement in place for the platform that's a bit more, I guess, like they could do, like, if Kick can do it, then like there is a way for Twitch to do it. You have the resources for it.
I think there definitely is a way. I think they're probably just a bit too scared to make that leap, which is, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, in saying everything with the whole like that recent ban that's kind of come through, I'm all for body positivity though. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. Like, if that's how, guys and girls want to get their bag, I'm so cool with it. But I think there is a line though. There is definitely a line that's like, ooh.
Of course. Yeah.
Ooh,
it's always like that grey line. Yeah.
100%.
If Twitch ceased to exist, what would you be doing?
Oh God. I think for me, I do have a degree that I can fall back on, so I would probably start seeking I guess a job with my degree, whether it's working in a laboratory or something along those lines.
Yep.
But I am hoping, and I have been doing it recently, getting into like making YouTube content. So I would hope that if Twitch was to cease someday, I have at least built a platform over on YouTube and, keep it going there.
Yep. How recent has it been since you've like put more focus and attention to like YouTube?
So I reckon I started November last year, I want to say. It was late last year. So about 4 months now. Yeah, 4 months.
Yep. Has it been easy, hard, like?
It's been a little bit hard, just because when I started, I was trying to do 3 like shorts a week, and at the same time I was doing Christmas hours as a retail manager.
Yep.
So I was doing like 40 hours a week, and then I was doing social media for another company as well as streaming.
Jeez.
So I just had like no time, but I don't know how I did it. I still whipped out content, at least 3 shorts a week, sometimes only 2. But yeah, it's been difficult in that sense, because it's just like I was constantly grinding.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in like a bit of a burnout, which is kind of expected after all that workload that I had. But I'm slowly getting back into it. I think it's just like, yeah, when you have creative burnout, that's the most difficult part.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the worst. And it's very hard to get out of. Pardon?
Would you say that's the hardest part of being a streamer? or creator? Rather?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the hardest because if you don't have like that creativity,
Yeah,
or you're just burnt out, you don't have the inspiration, then like you essentially, especially for YouTube content, you essentially can't make anything. Or if you do, it's just there's no real passion behind it.
yeah,
I guess with streaming, it's like I feel like I can still, if I'm feeling burnt out or meh, I can still go live and like switch it on. I feel like I can at least do that with streaming. But when it comes to actually making a YouTube video, like, you know, outside of that, if I'm not feeling creative, if I'm burnt out, I find it difficult to even get started on any
yeah.
idea that I may have.
Absolutely. What's the most annoying thing to you as a streamer?
My most annoying thing, probably, I mean, the whole like people coming in and being like, get a real job. It's like, bro, like,
Classic.
like it's a classic. I mean, it's not such annoying. I guess it's more just like, it's just like, come on, man, like think of something new. It's been 4 years and it's the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Like, come up with a new insult, please. Um,
It's like when
but
people
yeah,
it's like the same shit over and over, and you've been on here for 4 years, you said, right? So by now you would have heard and you would have seen so many similar things if it's like talking shit about you or saying like get a job, or just being like if you have like the colors in your background or something, or like, you know, it's just dumb shit like that.
yeah.
I think it's more so the disrespect that's like annoying, right?
Yeah, I think for me, it's like the community that I foster is very like anything kind of goes, obviously between like within certain limits. Like, you know, there's lines that you obviously don't cross, and
Mm.
if they do, they're out, they're banned.
Yep.
But we're very lenient. There's a lot of trolling that goes on and is allowed. I get, you know, crazy insults or whatnot thrown at me, and I kind of just banter off of it because I do somewhat find it entertaining. So like my streams are quite loose, and I let people get away with more than they would in a lot of other chats.
Yep.
I think what really bothers me is that when I tell people like, "Hey, I'm not feeling great today. Like I'm feeling a bit like, whether it's anxiety or just I'm feeling down or whatever," and I tell people like, "Hey, don't go so hard on me today."
Yep. Yep.
They double down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just blatantly like disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
just like, you get away with so much in my chat, but the second where I say like, "Hey, let's just dial it back for today. Like I'm not feeling great." People don't listen and they just like double down. And
Yeah,
it's
of
just
course.
like, it's like that's just flat out disrespecting me. And yeah, that really annoys me, which I mean, luckily it doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it gets on my nerves for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like someone like myself, I think there's obviously a different dynamic as well, with you being a woman on the platform and me being a guy on the platform. There is a different like
Yeah.
dynamic in that sense. I'm just going to say spade's a spade for it. It really is. So
Yeah,
like
for sure.
people think that they can get away from it and just be like, it doesn't matter, because there really is. So when you say like, let's say if you've had like a shit day or something like that, and you're like, I just haven't been feeling good, like it's like, just grow up kind of thing. It's like, well, I've had a shit day. Don't be a fucking asshole. All right, not today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that.
Yeah, and I had like the other stream I did about a day or two ago. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling great today," and someone's like, "Oh, have you tried smiling?" I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh my god! Thank
Thanks.
God that you are not in front of me right now.
It's like the same thing as when people say like, I've had like a really like depressing episode or something. Oh, just find something that makes you happy. Oh, okay. I'm suddenly fixed. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, man. But yeah, it's just like, yeah. Sometimes I'm just glad that I'm like sitting in this chair and I can just chill and not just be yelling in someone's face, being like, "Don't tell me to smile." Like,
yeah.
I'm just so good. I'm like, I can be here and just like take a breather. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's that those comments always annoy me. It's just like, oh, great, fucking, why didn't I think of that? Thank you.
Yeah, so original. Thanks.
I'm cured. Thanks.
Speaking of you and your community, what are your honest thoughts about yourself and the community as a whole?
Um, I really like where we're at right now. I feel like I was pretty close with my community, especially during lockdown. Like we would have movie nights and um play games and stuff together. And I feel like I lost that at one point, and I didn't feel like I had a very tight knit community anymore.
Mm.
And that was partially my bad because I had taken some time off of streaming as well. But I feel like, and like I rarely sent messages in Discord, just little things like that that I was just dropping the ball on.
Right.
I feel like I've tried really hard in the recent months, probably the last 6 months, to just be more active and, you know, talk more outside of streaming with, my community in Discord, and try and do some things in my Discord call, like where I can. So I'm really happy with where we are because I feel like it does feel very community, um,
Cool.
like a tight community right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
could be tight, I would say, but I'm really happy where we are.
I think with someone where you said you're very like perfectionist in and you take pride in what you do. I think from, just streamer to streamer, creator to creator, like I'm very much the same where, I think like our respective communities and everyone's respective communities, we love where we're at, but I think there's a different element of like, could be better this way, it could be better that way. That's just how I see it anyway, but it's not that we're not grateful. There's always just something else we're like, oh, could do more for this, we could do more, and always more, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like for me, yeah, I could. And it's not the community, it's like it's me. It's like what could I be doing more to
Mm.
like bring people together? Also, there might be like, some community members where it's like, all right, let's dial it back, or, let's relax a little bit here.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it's up to us to bring the community together. Like as
Yeah.
the creator, like it is up to us to, yeah, bring the community together and like, like interact with people outside of Twitch and get to know them, um, and try and organize whether it's movie nights or game nights, or, you know, listen to suggestions. But yeah, I feel like it's very much up to us to, make it a community and bring people together and make it a safe space, of course. That's
Yep.
priority.
Absolutely. If there's one thing that you could tell your younger streamer self, what advice would that be?
Oh man. What would I tell me? Hmm. Keep shit to yourself.
Mm.
Keep stuff to yourself. Yeah. I think that's probably the best thing. Yeah. You know, just yeah, not everything really needs to be public. Not that I feel like I was a super public person, but I feel like there are just some things where I'm like, yeah, like, you know, keep it to yourself. It's more special that way.
Right.
Like, like protect those things.
In terms of what, like yourself, or giving like, I guess, personal things about yourself, or like what?
Yeah. Yeah, like myself, or like personal things, or even, yeah, just stuff like that, I would say. Just like, yeah, not everything needs to be for the internet, because the more that you tell people, the more that they feel entitled to know everything about you.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I mean, I've had it where like I've had viewers message my moderators asking them personal questions about me. And it's like, to me, I'm like, maybe I messed up and I fostered that kind of,
Mm.
saying too much about myself or letting people in or whatever. So I would definitely tell my younger streamer self to just, you know, keep things to yourself. Not everything needs to be expressed or told, and
Mm.
um yeah, protect those things.
No, that's a good answer. I just want to ask one last thing about Twitch stuff before I look into some clips of yours.
Oh no, what? Watching clips?
Yeah, a little bit. Should have
Oh
looked at the few
shit.
interviews beforehand.
Oh no.
This is a good question before then, though.
Okay.
You mentioned generosity earlier. I just wanted to ask you about your relationship with them, how it all came about. Did you approach them? They approach you? Because you've been doing it for quite a few years now, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, it all just like it was so random how it happened. Um, so around this time, I was still like heavily playing a lot of Mario Kart, and I was just in a lobby, and I noticed this username called the Lyrical, which is Carl, and I didn't think anything of it. And then one day, when I was about to shut down my PC and go to bed, I saw someone called the Lyrical streaming, and they're playing Mario Kart, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like I've played against this guy." And I went to his stream and I just like all in capitals, I'm like, I know you. And he was kind of like low-key creeped out. He was like, I don't know who you are, Bratty, but hello. Like I'm like, let me
Yeah.
explain. I told him, I've played Mario Kart with you. And he's like, oh, you're her. And then I think he came and checked out my stream, and then I eventually rated him
Yep.
like maybe a week later. And he was like, "Oh, Brady, you'd be cool for this thing we do called Generosity, where we get streamers and musicians and dancers, artists, whatever, to come together and raise money for charity." And yeah, that was for raising money for Cure Cancer Australia. And then I literally flew up to Sydney, like I think a month later, and did my first segment. And then ever since, I've always kind of they've always asked, and I've always been like, "Yep, I'll do a segment," and it's always typically been Mario Kart. And then 2022, they asked if I wanted to be like a part of, like more part of the crew, like helping with the whole behind the scenes. So I was on board from PAX 2022 onwards with Generosity and helping out with whether it's social media or kind of scheduling or anything like that. So yeah, it honestly it all started from being in an online lobby in Mario Kart with one
That's
of the
cool
members.
as.
And then just randomly finding them on my recommendations. That's how
Yep.
it all started.
Wow. And then just
Yeah.
like doing stuff like with PAX and even they've got an event coming up, right? It's like next month or something like
Yes. It's like 2 weeks away. I think. Wait, is it?
this. It's like a
I
slumber thing, like a slumber party thing.
yeah, it is coming up very soon. So yeah, Generosity, they tend to do 2 kind of events or campaigns each year. One at the start of the year, which is they do like a slumber party because it's a like a marathon that runs over like a weekend. And it's like both remote segments as well as like in person.
Yep.
Um, so they typically always do 2 each year, and they've got one coming up in 2 weeks, which is raising money for multiple charities, which is amazing.
Yep.
So looking forward to that one.
That's cool. It's really it's always interesting to see, like, doesn't matter with branding or it doesn't matter with like any for charity or anything like that. It's always interesting to me to see how the connections are made. Like, do the streamers go up to them? Do they like find us? It's a bit of both. So it's really cool that like you have that, like, I guess like a small world moment, like, oh, I know you've seen this, and then it's just cool, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just it's just as little as just like one connection, and it just gets the ball rolling. And majority of the time when these things happen, you don't even realize it just ends up happening and it all falls into place.
Yep.
I feel like that's the best way to kind of I feel like in this industry, I feel like that's the best way to kind of grow and meet people and have opportunities, is that to naturally have them happen rather than force them or try and orchestrate them to happen.
Yep.
Just, be yourself and opportunities will show.
Yep. I think that's some really good advice, especially like those who treat it so businessy or networky, it becomes a bit too obvious kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not as genuine.
Yeah.
People, they want genuine, they want real. And I think when people are forcing that networking or like forcing whatever, it's just like that. Yeah, it becomes people don't want to see that. They want to see like who you really are. They're
Yep.
invested in who you are, not
Yep.
like whatever kind of persona you're putting on for them.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. Okay, we're gonna go into the part 2 of what typically goes on for these streamer interviews. First of all, I'm gonna go through your Twitch page. Goes on for these streamer interviews. Oh God, I don't want to listen to myself. Let's have a look.
No.
2Bratty. We're gonna have a look.
I didn't know we're looking at clips. Can we not look at like my top ones, please, because
Nah.
they're not good.
We'll see what we chose, and you can make
Oh, you chose some?
I chose a few.
Okay, good,
Okay.
because like I'm gonna say some of these probably wouldn't be good to put in the YouTube video.
Right. No, I did my
If you like
research.
played them at random.
No, I did my
Alright, thank God.
research.
Thank
so,
God.
I don't know if you've got my stream up or anything. So,
I do, yeah.
okay, cool. I'm gonna ask
That's
you
right.
flat out. Why do you have your VODs to sub only?
Good question. I put them to sub only when I was applying for DreamHack because I was scared that they'd look at my VODs and be like, "Damn, she's crazy. We can't have, we can't have her. We can't have her because she's crazy."
Okay.
And I haven't put it back since, which is just honestly forgetfulness. Sorry, not trying to get more money from people.
Yeah,
It's
you hear
just
that, everyone? She wants you to sub to it. That's
no.
Okay. I see how it goes.
I was scared DreamHack would be like, "Oh, she's insane. We can't let her in the venue."
Look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, okay? If someone like me who has like, people type in a bit more pushing the envelope stuff. They've had creators do the same thing. I think you'd be fine. To be honest with you, you'd be fine with it.
That's fair.
I'm going to look at just a few things here. So you do have the generosity team thing for it. So that's obviously who you rep the most, or who you represent the most, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. That's like, I mean, I've been in like a few teams before, but they were kind of more like casual. They weren't really like,
Okay. I am mentally unstable. Okay. Short, concise.
Yeah, I just want to let people know before they hop into the stream that they're not going to expect much from me.
Pre-warning.
Yeah, exactly. I keep it real. That's all.
Okay. I like the stars that you've given yourself. A quote by Anonymous: "The worst streamer I've ever seen. Who let her have access to the internet?" Another Anonymous. Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before. Lady Gaga. Okay, well, Lady Gaga obviously did not say that to you, did she?
Well, you don't know that.
Show the logs right now, then.
No, I had someone hack my computer recently and like deleted a bunch of like files and the logs. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah, that's totally Everyone can. Yeah, okay. Achievements: got partnered, 15,000 followers. Well, you're sitting on 24K at the moment, so I mean, I think this is.
I haven't updated it in a while.
1,000+ subscribers. That's pog. $12,000 for charity. That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. Panelist for PAX, panel host. Disappointed my family. Lost count. We were talking, how proud your mum was of you, and I don't know. It's got banned from DoorDash. Would you like to field that one?
I'm not gonna say the story that I usually spin, but genuinely, it's just like DoorDash would have this thing where they would just randomly like flag people's accounts and like ban them. And they did that to me on 2 different accounts, so but the joking story that I tell people is that like, I sent a selfie to the driver thanking them for my food and I got banned. That's the joking story I tell everyone.
Yeah, right.
I was flirting with the DoorDasher.
I see.
And I got banned because apparently that was terms of service and shit. So that's the story I spin. But the real story is that
Rummy.
I got told no, you can't hit on the DoorDasher, and they banned me. Like, oh, okay.
No.
Why can't a girl have hobbies?
Yeah, right. Okay.
But yeah, no. The real story is they just flagged my account. And they're like, "You're done." And I was like, "Oh, awesome." I ordered 1 HSP and they fucking got rid of me. I was like, "Oh, awesome."
Okay. I will get into a few clips. So just watch them and then just tell me what you obviously think, what you can explain, obviously.
Wait, I'll quickly get because I was on my phone.
That's all right. Okay. You ready?
I am ready now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, I'll just play it, and then you tell me what the
Oh
experience
no.
once is.
Oh fuck, I'm falling. Oh, I saved it. Ow, cramping. Fuck.
Okay.
Dude.
Obviously, you farted.
No, it was a sound effect. It was a sound effect. I have
Okay.
like these random like channel point redemption sound effects, and I also have doing a handstand as another sound effect. Sorry, another channel point redemption.
Sure.
So every time channel point, like the headstand channel point gets redeemed, someone, if not multiple people, will also redeem the fart sound effect every single time I do my headstand.
Right.
Without
Yeah.
fail. It's been missed maybe once.
Yeah. So it's like a double whammy. So they'll get you doing it, and they're like, we got it now.
Yeah, we got her out. I feel like I have multiple clips of me farting, and
Yep.
majority of them are me in a headstand. And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks. I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. I thank you.
What I actually wanted to ask you was, you've expressed on different posts and everything, and you've said that you've done dancing beforehand. Was that like a hobby of yours, and you still do today for it, or?
Yeah, I not as much nowadays. So dancing was what I wanted to pursue in life. Like I wanted to see if I could go to a full-time course and see what I could do with it, but I just had too many injuries. Um specifically with my ankles, and that's like the one of the most important,
Yeah.
parts, because that's holding up my entire body and what I'm turning and jumping and landing on. So wasn't going to be able to pursue it because I'd either just be unreliable and constantly injuring myself,
Yep.
or I would injure myself and just destroy my body for the future.
Yep.
So I obviously don't do competitive dancing or train anymore, but I occasionally still choreograph, and at PAX I get up on stage and dance for like an hour segment to raise money for charity. So
Yeah,
I still do it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just you can't do it, obviously, as like you said,
Yeah,
competitively or for...
not as a career or like training or anything like that. Yeah,
Yep.
it's way more casual.
Just an e-girl
Yep.
eating some KFC chips.
I'm gonna grab a few more clips for you.
All right.
So don't mind if you hear it on stream a little bit. I've got to compare the pair. We're gonna play a compare the pair. So basically, I've got two clips here for you. All right, it's I'll just get you to describe two versions of Romy that people might portray you as, and you just explain. All right.
All right.
I'll play them both.
Just an e-girl eating some KFC chips.
Interesting. Second one.
Oh, that.
Look, I just wanted to see, for those who might portray you, or if you wear, diva cosplays or whatever it is that you're wearing for it, versus this version of Romy where you're just being a bit, I don't know, what would you describe yourself in a word?
In a single word to describe myself?
Yeah.
Unhinged. That's the best way to describe myself. Do you also want some context for the second clip?
Sure.
Okay, so for the second clip, I just had I had the voices were talking, and I was like, guys, wouldn't it be hilarious if like I just had the words like attempting backflips on my stream,
right,
and then I like lay dead and like broken looking on the floor for like 2 minutes straight, so that when new viewers came in, they thought I like genuinely ate shit and like died.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the whole bit. But I couldn't stay in the pose properly because I kept laughing because I could see how like distorted I looked.
Okay. It's like people who might get they might have a portrayal of you, but then it's like, no, this is who I really am. I'm just doing dumb shit. Unhinged, like you said. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know if people see me and then when they see how I am, they like it's a complete shock or if it's like expected. I
Right.
know when I had colored hair, they're like, yeah, you are insane. We get it. But now that my hair is
Right.
not as bad, but I'm covered in tattoos, so that's enough for people to be like, yeah, she's mentally ill, man.
Right.
This adds up.
Okay. Got a few more clips. We'll go to the third one.
Sure.
All right. I'm just gonna play it
Is this a
straight away.
thanks I get for putting your pictures on? Is this my fault that...
Can you explain your obsession with Nicki Minaj, please?
I don't have an obsession with Nicki Minaj anymore. I did.
I'll play it again for
I was
everyone. Sorry.
Is
Just
this
keep
a
going.
thanks I get for putting
Oh,
your
okay.
pictures on? Is this
So
my
I
fault
did
that-
have an obsession with Nicki Minaj. But recently she's kind of gone off the rails, so I don't really have much of an obsession with her anymore because she was like dragging down other like rap artists, and I was just like, nah, I can't support you like that, girl. So I don't really. I'm not in my Nicki phase anymore, but I was at some point, as you can tell.
Yeah. Because I think you had a channel point
Uh.
redemption that was like, play super bass or something.
Yeah, so the channel point redemption was song request, but I just play super bass instead.
Yeah.
So
that's
people
it.
would like request a song. I was like, "Oh, thank you." Then I'll just play super bass. I'll be like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Did you not read it?" Like, it was right there.
Yeah. All right. Got a couple more, so I'm not going to torment you much further for it. This actually
You've
is
picked a few rippers.
Well, it doesn't get better, okay?
Oh, great. Awesome.
Now, this clip is from 3 years ago.
Oh my god.
I'll just play it and you just
head.
tell me.
Okay. I want to see if I can kick my head. Right.
Your old setup, the Pokemon cards in the back. Just doing dumb shit like this.
Oh my god. Alright, I want to try and fucking touch my head. Yeah, Kahoot's my mom. What?
Yeah,
Hi,
Kahoot, my mom.
Yo, how you doing, NBA? You gonna break a hip? Oh, jeez.
Okay, so comparing this version of Romy to today, do you think much has changed or not really?
No. No, nothing has changed, honestly. I still do the same shit. I'm pretty sure in a recent stream I tried to kick myself in the head again, so that hasn't changed. I mean, I feel like I look nicer, maybe. Maybe I've had a little bit of a glow up. But like the personality and the humor, if anything, it's gotten worse. If anything, like it's gotten worse. Like my stream is just pure brain rot at this point. Whereas back then it wasn't as much brain rot. It was kind of tolerable back then, now it's not.
It's like something is unlocked inside of you. You're just like, now I'm just. It's the full.
Yeah.
It's like a final form. Would you say it's like a final like form of you, or like you're the most you that you've been today?
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good way of putting it. I feel like I really am myself and embracing myself.
It's good.
That may not be a good thing, who knows? But like, yeah, I feel like, I'm comfortable with myself, and I'm, really blessed that I have a community that, welcomes and celebrates me for that, which is,
Yeah.
amazing because, God forbid, in person, I've been fucking put down for it or whatever growing
yeah.
up for sure. But to have, a community online that embraces and welcomes me and celebrates me for being the dumbass that I am, and, being, a little bit, goofy, not really caring what people think about me. It's nice to feel accepted.
Yeah. Yep. It's really cool to see, and you can like be comfortable in your own skin like that. I always say it to my own guys. It's the same thing where it's like this is the final version of me, and the quite the best version, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Last one. No more. There's no
Here we
more
go.
clips after this. It's a pretty simple question.
Okay.
It's a clip, but I just wanted to like show everybody, and you might have seen it from the other clip beforehand, but I'll just show you guys. It is another throwback clip.
Oh wow.
Say something in Australian.
I'll play it through.
Cunt.
I just wanted to ask you.
That stands for cunt.
You've had
Translate to cunt.
many different hairstyles
Cunt in
over the
Australia
years.
translate to cunt. Yeah.
What was your favorite color that you've gone?
My favorite, I mean, the split pink and purple that I had was iconic.
Yeah, really.
That one was iconic. It looked amazing.
I see that one on the juiced ads all the time.
Oh my
Still
god.
use it. Yeah.
Not the juiced ads. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh my
you
god.
hold both of them like this, and it's the split hair. It's the same one, right? That one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. So in that photo, my hair was shorter because it got kind of damaged, and the pink was faded.
Yep.
But when I first got it done, my hair was pretty much just the length that it is now, and like pink one side, purple one side, and like really vibrant. It was gorgeous. I loved it. If I could go back to it, I would, but I don't want to. It took me long enough to grow my hair back out again. I'm definitely not risking. I was buying a wig, but that one was my favorite and probably iconic because I feel like at that time I was kind of known or recognized for having that hair. But I mean, I'm glad that when I changed hair colors, I didn't. It was great.
Yeah,
it wasn't like the soul thing, but it was kind of like I was kind of associated somewhat with that pink and purple nerds. People would call it nerd head style.
Yeah, it's a
like
good
the
one.
lolly nerds, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say, just going off what you said with being recognized from your hair, do you think it's a blessing, or do you think it's, I guess, that people are more so gravitating towards you and your streams rather than just like what you look like or what color hair, like now comparison to then?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I'm not going to be stupid. I know people do still come in because of how I look, and that's not me being stuck up. It's just the fact that I see the first chatter's message being like, wow, you're hot.
Right.
Wow, boobs. Wow, pretty. Like, it's like, obviously, I'm still going to get people coming in for that reason. I think, that's just being a female on Twitch as well. But I do feel strongly more and more that the audience I have is for me, not for the way that I look. And I feel like I'm pretty sure of that because, my content is pretty unhinged and it's not for everyone. So I would assume the people that stick by it's because they actually enjoy it. They wouldn't stick by my shenanigans just because I have a nice looking face or my hair or whatever.
Yep.
Because they could go to a way more chill, mentally stable, pretty streamer, but they stick with me. So that tells me that they actually like my content and like me for who I am.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's no more clips. All right. So you've done the hard.
They weren't too bad. They weren't too bad. Honestly, I was scared. I've said some dumb crap.
When I was looking through, I was like, "Fuck!" There's weird Kuma ones. There's weird like fucking people clipping it. I'm like, "Oh, geez." I just moved on. I was like, "What one can I actually work off of?" Or like people have it, and it's like they clip it, and it's weirdly clipped. It's like Rummy's talking about her toes or something like that. It's like fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, given half of it's my own fault, I will just something will pop in my head and I'll just say it, and I'm like, oh crap, shouldn't have said that one.
Yeah.
Or like I word something wrong and I'm like, yeah, that one's not gonna go down well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are there's a lot of clips where I'm genuinely reading out a chat message and they're like, clipped, and I'm like, great, it looks like I just said that insane message.
Yeah.
Like it looks like I just personally said it when I actually was reading it. So they're a doozy. There's a few I've had to delete for that reason because I'm like, nah, that's too embarrassing.
Sorry, I got co-funny. He just jumped up.
Oh, no, you good.
Okay, part 3. I've got some quick questions for you. Just however long that you want to answer it. If you just want to answer it and move on, these are typically just the quick questions. Answer as quick or as detailed as you want.
Sure.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right. What's something you want to achieve in 2024?
Oh my god. Growing on YouTube more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What Sorry. Who is a celebrity you get mistaken for?
No one. I don't get mistaken for anyone.
Really?
Oh, I tell a lie. Bloody people would always call me Bad Baby, the Catch Me Outside girl.
Oh my god.
Which
Wow.
I don't see, but I feel like this more happened when I had the like red pinkish hair.
Yeah.
So people would
Yeah.
associate, but I still get people to this day saying that I look like her. And I'm like, I do not see it.
I think
But
it's
yeah.
not like it's weird to say like I think it's sometimes if you it's weird as like if you look like to your side or something like that, probably.
Maybe. I don't
Little
know.
bit. Okay. What's the best game you streamed or played in your career?
Oh, what was that? Sorry?
What's the best game you've streamed or played in your career of streaming?
Has to be Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
How did you learn like to do all the little shortcuts and stuff? I asked you when we did the little collab stream thing, but was it self-taught or like?
Bit of both. I was playing in online lobbies and I had like really competitive Australian players, like people who played in competitive clans. Also had some like record holders, like whether it's world records or like Oceania records.
Yep.
Like they were coming in, so they were highly skilled, very good. And this one guy, I was like, how the hell are you getting so far ahead? And that's when he told me, oh, no item shortcuts, like streamless shortcuts.
Right.
Like, and then I looked into it and started practicing myself in just like time trials or anything like that. And yeah, I pretty much taught myself, but obviously had to look at tutorials and
Yep.
figure it out eventually. And I got some tips and tricks from those competitive players as well.
It's cool. Do you believe in like teaching what's taught? So you did all the research, you learn off like these competitive players and looked up videos and stuff like that, and then on your own YouTube, you're saying like, this is how I did the skip, or this is how I learned how to do this. Is that why you're doing like your YouTube stuff and how you're passing that down, so to speak?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there are already tutorials and YouTube clips explaining these shortcuts, but we all have our own different methods, our own different approaches, and the way we explain it. So that's why I'm wanting to add my own kind of interpretation and teach people, because the way I explain something, someone might understand better than maybe another tutorial. Vice versa, they might find another tutorial way easier than how I approached the shortcut or explained it. So I just wanted to add that in. Plus, I feel like Mario Kart, like female Mario Kart creators, I don't see almost ever. And I was like, I want to break into that. I want to, be the Mario Kart girl. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's nice to kind of give people a different kind of perspective of how I do a shortcut, because it might be better than what they've seen, or it might be worse. But it's nice to share a passion.
Yeah, it's like a it's like a niche that you've found and you've figured out, and you can you can take advantage and really like you're like here's me, someone who's actually like decent and good at it, and I know how to explain it, I know how to do it all. So it's like it's not an untapped market. It's like something where you can go in, especially as like a female gamer or someone who's coming to something, and it's usually like all male dominated anyway with that stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What is your obsession with the number 2?
Obsession
Brat-
with like 2Bratty.
Yep.
Well,
2Bratty taking the screenshot of the 2222 followers or whatever it was.
Yeah, look, honestly, the 2 is just genuinely just meant to be the word 2, like TOO.
Yep.
And then since then I've just always gravitated towards the angel number, like 222. Because I don't know. It would always pop up for me. And I would notice that like 222 would pop up for me
Right.
always before like something in my life changed. Whether it was a big event or like a a good life event or a bad life event. 222 would always pop up before it happened.
Right.
So yeah, that the whole 222 kind of came after the whole 2Bratty username, but yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah, just
Okay.
angel numbers and delusions.
So is that
like-
where your Twitter handle comes from then? Where you have 222Bratty as well?
Yeah, well, that's because 2Bratty got taken. So
Right. Okay.
I was like, all right, I was doing angel number.
I see. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Favorite game of all time?
Mario Kart Wii.
Wow. Okay. You own
Yeah,
the Wii?
not 8 Deluxe.
You own the Wii, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I still do. I
you
haven't
still
played
got
Mario
it?
Kart Wii in forever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could learn one other language, what would it be?
Japanese.
Wow. You been to Japan?
I've been 3 times, and I'm gonna go again end of May, so it'll be 4 times.
Oh, really? Sick.
Yeah,
cool.
very excited.
Just
very
yourself or like?
excited. Yeah, a little bit of a solo. It's like kind of solo trip, but I'm going over, and like some of my family's already gonna be there, so I'm going to hang out with them. But like, I'm staying in my own kind of hotel. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of just solo kind of days by myself. I'm also very lucky. I've got 2 of my friends who are gonna be there at the same time, so I'm
sweet.
also gonna be hanging out with them, and we're all like big nerds into anime and trading cards, so we're gonna be hanging out a lot too. But it is mainly a solo travel.
Yeah, cool. I just want to see the Pokemon stores out there, so please post
They're
them.
amazing. They're amazing.
Who did you first watch on Twitch?
I want to say it was you.
Really?
I want to say it was you, but I feel like it was a Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I
Like-
think I watched a Mario Kart streamer. But that was like before I actually made the 2Bratty account.
Oh, okay, yep.
I feel like with my actual 2Bratty account and actually talking in a chat, it was probably you.
Yep.
But prior to that, like I would occasionally I would watch a Mario Kart stream here and there. But yeah, not enough to know really what I think the funny story that I tell a lot of people is that I was a Twitch streamer before I was a Twitch chatter or a Twitch viewer.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so essentially I went to streaming not knowing anything, not knowing that moderating was a thing, not knowing rating was a thing.
Yep.
Essentially when I was streaming, I was playing Minecraft, my very first stream with a friend. He was like, "Oh, do you have any viewers?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Say hi to them." I didn't even I didn't even know to say hi to someone. That was how out of touch I was with Twitch.
So
I
did you
just
literally
knew
just
that,
start streaming and then you're just like, I'm here?
yeah, pretty much. I'm just like, I'm here. But yeah, I was a Twitch streamer before I was a Twitch viewer.
That's crazy. Cause
Yeah, which is wild.
yeah, because I was definitely a viewer before, I've seen since 2014 that I've been watching here and there, and then
Yeah.
not doing it years and years and years after. But even though I understood these communities and chats and stuff like that, I still hadn't figured out my own. So it was just so odd.
Yeah.
But for the sake of even you're oh, I'm playing Minecraft, and let's just say you had 10 viewers back then, and they're all chatting, and then are you streaming? You're like, yeah, you're not even saying hi to them. It's
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even say hi or anything. I was just so out of touch. I
jeez.
obviously knew to go live and create a community and have fun, but I didn't know way more about it, the whole affiliate program. I didn't really know anything about. I didn't know that emotes were a thing or rating or anything like that, moderating or Discord. I didn't even have a Discord set up. People were like, "Go set up a Discord." I'm like, "What
Yeah.
the hell is that?" I didn't even know what Discord was. I
Jeez.
was so out of it. I picked up very quickly. I'm a quick learner, so I picked it up quickly. But yeah, it's kind of funny to tell people because I feel like majority of streamers were a viewer first, so they
Yeah,
went
I
on
agree.
stream knowing introduce yourself, say hi to people, moderating, raid people, whatever. Like they knew. Whereas me, I'm just like, I'm here now.
You're existing.
I do?
You're welcome, kind of thing. I
But
think
yeah.
it's a bit of an advantage like that. Like I feel viewers who go into streamers especially, there's a little bit of the element of them wanting to be like let's just say like someone who's just starting and they see their favorite streamer and it's like it doesn't matter how big they are with viewership, whatever it is, but let's just say for the sake it's like just normal like 75 average viewership as like a partner they watch. But then it's like they start their own stream and they're like, oh yeah, I just streamed kind of thing. It's like you didn't have that like the do's and don'ts or the etiquette like beforehand. You're just like, what's up? Like everywhere you go.
Yeah, exactly right. I just, yeah, I think it is an advantage. It was 100% an advantage because I went into streaming with zero expectations. If anything, negative expectations. I was so convinced I was going to start streaming, hate it, and like quit after 2 weeks or get bored after 2 weeks, or no one would come in and it'd be boring. So like I didn't go into it knowing like, oh, this streamer has heaps of viewers and they get this many people chatting and this amount of subs, this many followers. Like I went into it knowing nothing at all, so I had no expectation.
It's crazy.
So that really worked amazingly for me because every milestone I hit, I was always so completely shocked.
Yeah.
Like I hit 100 followers and I remember telling people this is my peak. Like I was like, this is my peak. I like because I was just kind of that clueless about what Twitch could really offer you.
Yeah. Yep.
And then yeah, obviously like with you, for example, I never went into your chat being like, oh, I just streamed. Like you discovered on your own, like, oh wait, you stream? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I either
true.
rated you or something. Like I knew enough to know that don't go onto other people's streams.
You had that
and
like
say that you're a
beforehand.
streamer.
Yeah.
Like I
That's
at
rare.
least knew that. I feel like that's at least common sense. But you know,
It's
as you know, people will always do that still.
yeah. Even
But,
just like faintly like nudging that they're like, you know, I'm live or I'm about to go live. It's like I avoid that altogether. Even just like, oh, I'm just gonna go do this now. It's like, well, I know that you're doing it. You don't have to do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I just say, I'm gonna do some work. Or I'm just like,
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta eat food. Man, I just ate before. I'm not eating again. I'm actually going to stream. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like I feel like it's common sense and just courtesy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like even though like I didn't really know much about Twitch and how people were, I just knew for a fact it would be such a just a crap move to go into someone's stream like, yeah, I'm a streamer. It's like
Yeah.
I just knew from the jump, like don't do that, man.
Yeah.
Their stream is about them, not about you.
It's true.
But
why is Shaman a D tier Pokemon?
wow, that's actually messed up. That's messed up.
No,
why
do you like hey?
Oh no, it's alright. I was about to
Say it.
come
I
to
know
you.
what you're gonna say.
Why is Alakazam?
Shut the fuck up.
Is Alakazam here?
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is my boy. No, seriously, why do you why is Shaman your favorite Pokemon?
Because she's cute and she's a little like hedgehog. No, she's not. What are you? You're a yeah, she's a hedgehog with flowers, and then the flowers bloom on her back. I have a little shaman shrine up here.
What's the coolest like Shaman like? It could be a plush. It could be like a thing. What's the coolest like thing?
Just wait. Just
All
you wait. I
Shaman's
actually
the
got
worst,
a
guys.
recently.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sick.
Sorry, I can't to knock my headphones
It's pretty
down.
shit.
She's the holy grail.
That's really, really bad. It's really cool.
Yeah, she is the 20th anniversary Pokemon Center exclusive shaman.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she is not easy to get.
So did you get it from the actual Pokemon Center or did you get it from like a reseller like eBay or something?
Yeah, online.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, got it from a friend.
That's cool as.
I don't want to throw it. I don't want to throw it. She's too precious. She's staying with me.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Like real is real. Like having a favorite Pokemon and just being like, yo, I love it because of that. Like, yeah, I respect it. That's cool as.
Yeah.
Who was someone you were inspired by on Twitch?
On Twitch, Hmm. I think I would say I really like. I mean, he's not on as much, but Germa.
Oh man, great
I
answer.
I love. I only like discovered him maybe a year or two,
Yeah,
but he just like he's broken so many like just like barriers and just he has lifted the streaming game up so much with his ideas and he's just so funny and like quick-witted as well. Like I love the little bits and like that he does with his community and trolling his community. Like that's kind of where that inspiration of me playing Dead on the Floor, like that was like a Germa kind of bit, you know?
yeah, right. Okay.
Like that's definitely yeah. I just love how how he trolls. It's like you can't troll him because he's already trolling you.
He's
He's like 10
untrollable.
steps ahead
Yeah,
of you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That is my inspiration. I'm like, I want to be like that. I want to be the troll. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
want yeah.
yeah. It's really hard, especially when you said earlier, like let's say Germa had like a bad day, and like I'm not saying that you have to like do the same thing, but let's say if you never said that you had like a bad day for it, and then people are still going at you for it, it's much more harder to be iron skinned like that. Whereas because I'm a reactor as well, like if someone comes in the chat and has that disrespect, I'm gonna go at them straight away. Like it's just
Yeah.
defensive. Like that's just my fight. But someone like Germ, it's like even like there's a guy named Squeaks as well, where he does Mario World, Super Mario World.
I think I've heard of him.
SM64 runs.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, and like just like a bit where it's like, oh, you poured the coffee into a pan, and he like already had the pan. He's like, yeah, I did have the coffee in the pan. Then he had something else underneath. Like it's just like the fact that like he's already trolled him, and then they're like, oh, you just done the pan bit again. It's like, no, I didn't. Like you can see it here. It's on my keyboard, but it's just like it's like an older keyboard or something like that. So he's already like trolled you again. So just
Yeah.
like dumb stuff like that with German. That's a really great answer. When you
Yeah.
said like he's upped the streaming game, the usage of the word content like creator or creator, he is the pure embodiment of that because
Oh,
that
100%.
creation and even doing the sim stuff and even just doing like all the like the other segment stuff, everything, it's incredible. It's incredible production.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely upped the game so much. So much. But yeah, no, and I've always I'm constantly watching clips of like his unhinged moments and I'm just like, yeah. That's my streamer. That's what I want to be like.
Yeah. You already answered one of my other ones about traveling overseas. You mentioned Japan though. Have you been anywhere else?
I've been to Bali twice and I've been to America.
Was that for TwitchCon? Or was that for
No. I was just hanging out with friends that I met online.
Okay.
And these friends were and still are content creators, mainly on YouTube. I think that's my first real kind of taste of like the potential of content creation was seeing what they do, like their day to day, and I was like, that's awesome. I want to do that. And then
Right.
a year and a bit later, I eventually started streaming. No, not even a year and a bit. Sorry, it would have been like 6 months because then lockdown
Right.
happened not long after.
Okay. Yeah. So it was kind of like a cool opportunity, and it was like it just worked. We were like, I've seen it before. I reckon I could do it. Can't go out. Can't go to work or can't go to study. Now it's my time to be like, I'll just give it a go. So would you say that
Yeah.
like hanging out with your friends in America, that was kind of like a source of where it came from for wanting to stream?
Yeah, because it seemed so fun. Like obviously they did more YouTube, but they do stream as well occasionally. And I was like, that just seems like so much fun. Like, finding like-minded people online and hanging out with them and just having a good time. I was like, that sounds like fun and what a perfect opportunity during lockdown. I can't go out and see my friends, so why not give it a go? And yeah, I did. And never once did I ever try to get them to like boost me or anything like that because I was like, I'm not interested in that. Like
Yep.
I started it just for something fun to do to pass time. And then when I realized, oh crap, I can make something of this, I still was adamant that I wanted to grow for me and not because I was, because of who I'm associated with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted people to come to my streams for me, not because of who I know. So I
Yeah,
never
of
once
course.
asked them to boost me or anything like that. And that's something I can always be proud of myself, is that my growth is my own.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true. It's very true. Last one. If money or viewership wasn't a factor, what would you be doing on Twitch?
If money and viewership wasn't a factor,
Yep.
I'd just be doing the same shit I'm doing now, I would say.
Just keep chatting away and just keep.
Yeah, because I mean, if I was really in it for the money, I would have met a band.
Sorry, what'd you say?
You know. Oh, I was saying that if I was in it for the money, I would be doing the metas that kind of got recently banned,
Right.
because they bring in hella money. Like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
be real. But I was like, nah, that's not for me. I don't really do this for money. Sure, like right now I'm doing it full time, but there's never been a point where I've sat down and be like, what content should I produce to bring in more money?
Mm.
I've never done that. I've always stayed true to myself, and anyone who's watched my streams for the last 4 years will say that, like, I have not changed. If anything, like, I have just been so relentlessly myself, and that comes with drawbacks. I'm not the cutesy, wholesome, sweetie pie, girly streamer. I'm a bit more rough, and it brings in a different niche kind of audience. So.
Right. Yep.
Definitely, yeah, isn't quite, yeah, what my content doesn't like bring in money necessarily. I would say, at least. I don't know.
Okay. No, it's a good answer. It's
I mean, it can, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's not like a quick, easy way.
Of course, yeah. That's why whenever I ask the question, it's like, how you guys answer it is purely off whether if you see it as like oh, I've never done this for it, because like someone like you who's like, you've always had a balance of the two, for so to speak, of either working full time and then streaming, or even studying and then, or even choosing one over the other for the time where you take a break. So it's interesting whenever I do ask that. There's no right or wrong, obviously. It's just how you guys perceive it on it. So it's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Final part. There's only 3 things to go, so.
Okay, cool.
I'm
enjoying it though. It's been nice.
Thank you. Just three final things before we get to the community questions, which, by the way, you guys can ask Romy from above. It should be pinned up the top. We'll go to that, and then I'll let you go. So the final part of the questions, what I want to ask first is, what is your party story or a go-to crazy story?
A go-to crazy story.
Or just like one of the stories where you're like, oh, something that only you would have unique to you, and you're like, oh, this happened to me, you won't believe it, kind of thing.
Trying to think. Unique to me. I'll tell the story of when I broke my arm,
Okay.
because it's kind of low-key funny. And like, sure, people have broken their bones, but this one's kind of like, the lead up to it is kind of very unique. I was outside with my friend. We were jumping on the trampoline, and my mom, she came out and she said, like, I'm gonna go have a shower. Like, I don't want you girls out here by yourself. Like, please come inside. And we were like, nah, we're not gonna jump around. It's fine. Like, we won't. And my mom, we had this bird called Cheeky. And my mom's like, should I let the girls stay outside? And my bird kept saying no. And like, my mom would be like, are they just gonna sit still and not jump around? And the bird kept saying no. And then eventually we still convinced my mom that, we weren't gonna jump around. and then actually tell a lie, she was going to dye her hair first. And then we were obviously starting to jump around. I got double bounced. I fell like this, and I snapped 2 bones in this arm, which is why I've got these
the
lovely
scar.
little
Yep.
scars. I got 4 of them.
Shit. Okay.
The funny thing is I didn't hear anything. I mean, I didn't feel anything. I didn't hear anything. If I didn't look at my arm that was a zigzag on the ground, I would have gone back up and probably just tried to get back on the trampoline, because like I just felt nothing, which luckily for me, I do have a high pain tolerance at least, but it would have definitely been a bit of shock.
Yeah.
And then it was I got up, had this wonky like zigzag arm. My friend was screaming because she was like, I broke her arm. Like she was running around screaming. I went to my mom and I just like was holding my arm that was like the bone was in the air. And I was like, I think I broke my arm. like I think like maybe it might be broken. I don't know. And then my mom, like, she nearly fainted at the sight of it because it was clearly broken. It was gone. And then she had to obviously call the ambulance because she was like, I can't drive because I don't want to look at that thing. Like I'm gonna vomit if I look at that thing.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is listen to the birds, man. Listen to your pet bird, because my pet bird kept saying no. And next minute I broke 2 bones, had to get surgery, and it wasn't a great time. I missed out on doing a swimming competition that I was set up to win for, so that's I feel like that's a unique story in that way. Just in the whole bird interaction is so funny.
Yeah. You feel like it was like a kind of like a sign, or like, you know, something telling you to no.
Honestly, probably not. No was her favorite word, but it's just funny. It's just funny. It's just, to this day, it's just like, should have listened to that goddamn bird.
Yeah. Bird knew.
Yeah.
Cove. He's been very needy. I just got home. Come on.
Oh, man.
I just got home from the weekend. He just wants my attention.
Too cute.
Hey, you can sit up here. In this current moment, how are you feeling about yourself, and for you as a streamer or a content creator?
I think I'm in a good place, I would say. Doing this full time has been a really scary shift, and a big change in my life, because all my life, like since I could work, I've pretty much worked. And definitely since the age of like 19, I've just, I've worked crazy hours a week. I've always been like promoted up to like a supervisor or a manager or anything like that. So I've been so used to just working heaps of hours and having that consistency and routine in my life. And like that consistent knowing I'm going to, make whatever amount each week.
Yeah.
So content creation is the complete opposite. You don't have, your like, you don't really have a routine unless you like actually discipline yourself and stick to it. There's no consistency. And that's been really scary for me, not having that usual routine that I've gone to and having that consistency in my life. But I'm now realizing I'm actually in a lucky position that I can even do this full time in the first place. And I've just been grinding and doing, the best I can. And I've been so grateful that there has been growth and a lot of people are supporting, my full-time journey. And I would say I'm in one of the best places I've been in my life, I would say. I feel like I'm, I feel like I'm where I'm meant to be.
It's a really, really good answer. And you deserve it as well. Someone who's worked so hard and have done it their way and not doing it through anyone else, like you said, by association. You've really worked your ass off for it. So you and your community will obviously can appreciate how much work that you've done for it. And you only feel like you're just beginning, that you say that like you're in such a good spot now.
Yeah, it does. It's very crazy to me that I've been streaming for my headphone. I've been streaming for 4 years, almost 4 years, and only now do I feel like I'm going somewhere with it, or I'm really kind of making a name for my.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess I just remember this time last year, I was saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm in my flop era." Like, I'm in my flop era. Like, I peaked and it's over for me because like just numbers all around were just low. And then it's just out of. It feels like almost nowhere. It's just everything is just grown. Also, I know there is consistency and hard work that's gone into that, but yeah, I feel very blessed, and it's just it's a kind of a reminder of don't give up. Like you might feel like you're in a slump, or you're just flopping, or you're not going anywhere, and this is it. But it can change just like that, because it felt like it changed just like that for me. And this time last year, I was in a really shit place and feeling like I wasn't doing well.
Yep. It's a really raw answer. I definitely agree with you with a lot of the points as well, with just gonna keep at it kind of thing. And sometimes it's just how I would word it is it's just your time. So you gotta keep running with it.
For sure.
Last question from me, and then we'll move on to the community questions. If there is one person that you could nominate or recommend to see me interview, who would it be?
I would say Bort.
Bort.
Yes,
Okay.
I just think he is someone that is so innovative, and he's so creative, and he is a hard worker, and he produces some good content. I just think he can really bring a lot of insight, and just also he just has great personality as well. But I think he's always doing crazy subathons, and he's always got crazy ideas, and he did that haunted house stream.
Yep.
I feel like he is one of the OC creators that is just trying to push the boundaries and is really trying to take it that next level. I think he would be a great person to interview for sure.
I think that's a great shout. I've actually been planning to get him on.
Good.
So it's a good shout that you knew. I think especially where someone has been doing this fucking subathon thing for so long for it. I'd love to get him at a time where it's a bit more downtime, especially pick his brain about some subathon things, because I feel like that as a topic, I have my own opinions. I'm sure you do. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions on how things are running and how things are going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to pick the mind of the guy who's actually doing it, and for in more recent things where people have actually disagreed and have said some very topical things on it, I think it'd be a great opportunity to sort of clear it all up and go through it all. So it's a good shout.
Yeah, he'd be the perfect person to talk about like the subathon. Like to me, like I don't think I've really done a proper subathon, but he's however many days in. It'd be amazing to kind of hear how he prepares for these things, and day by day, and like mentally, physically, everything. I think it would be fascinating to just hear his experience.
All right. Normally I would get my interviewees to message the person about it, but since I already know him and since I already want him on, it's quite easy. I mean,
perfect.
If you could only do me the favor of saying I nominated you to do Joey's interview, then that'd be great, just to push it a little bit, but I'm sure he's down anyway, so I mean,
yeah, easily.
Either way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna ask Romy some questions from what you guys picked. Feel free to chuck it in. It should be all here and ready to go, and you guys could still ask questions as well, so I'm only gonna ask the ones that are like things that are either like it could be meme community stuff or things that just aren't like odd or whatever. So I'm just gonna ask you randomly and then just answer. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What volume of your fanfic is your favorite?
Oh no, not the fanfic.
Care to explain?
So I will explain. um, I have had a community member who has made a fanfic about myself and Zoro from One Piece.
Okay.
And it's not, I wouldn't say it's for kids, some of the chapters.
Right.
I would say the chapter where we got introduced to the crew, where we had Fred Fazington Bear in it. That was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite chapter. Was that chapter 3? No, yeah, it's a wild story. To sum it up, yeah, there's me, there's Zoro, and then in the crew we've got some anime character that I can't remember. We've got Freddy Fazbear in the crew as well. We got attacked by a bunch of Naruto characters, and then Will Smith showed up.
Okay. And what did you do? Slap him or something?
He told me I've got the rewind power.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
just the
Just like
it's essentially brain rot in a
right.
fanfic form, but
So
it kind of goes hard.
It's like your community pretty much summed up in like how they can create shit and
Yeah, well, it's one writer, and essentially she just at 5 a.m. she'll be delirious and she'll be like, "Yeah, let's write a chapter."
Okay. Interesting. Question 2: convince Joey to get a tattoo.
Convince you to get a tattoo?
I don't think I need much convincing.
Yeah, I would say surely. Do you have any planned? You said you wanted to get funny ones like Simpsons or something, yeah?
Yeah. I reckon I'd get like a Mo Sislak or like a Sideshow Bob. Fuck, that'd be so funny. I think it'd just be cool. Or like a Principal Skinner or something. I don't know, man. It'd be cool. Where would you recommend?
That'd be so cool. What would I recommend?
Yeah. Oh, where? Sorry, like.
Oh, where? I mean, it just depends. I feel like for your first tattoo, maybe it's good to get it somewhere that isn't too visible, just to kind of, you know, like just to start out, dip your toes in it. I mean, I didn't even listen to it. Like for me, my first tattoo was these 2 butterflies, so that really wasn't that wasn't hidden at all. I just kind of went crazy from the start.
Yeah.
But I feel like probably my 2 bits of advice is, if you're not sure on a design, set it as your phone background or something. And if like 3 months later you're still not sick of looking at it, then you probably want it. And then I guess it just depends. Like, you know, maybe get it in a spot that you just,
That's really good
it's not
advice,
always
actually.
visible. Yeah, that's what I heard from someone who used to bar. But yeah, maybe start in a spot that's not as visible. Start with a smaller design if you're just kind of a bit scared of getting into tattoos, or if you don't care, then get it wherever the hell you want. For sure.
When you get asked about your tattoos, this is just my own question. I know I broke my own fucking rule, but do you find them to be like not boring, but it's just like when people point it out that you've got tattoos, you're like, oh yeah, I've got them, and then or you just not care. It's like, oh, I'm happy to sort of tell about what this means or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy talking about it. You know, I mean, I spent that much money on it. I'd hope people like them and talk about it.
Yeah,
they weren't cheap. So, but yeah, I think the only comment that annoys me is the whole, you know, I'll get occasional comments being like, "Oh, you ruined your skin," or "Oh, like, you know, those 2 tattoos, like that one and that one, they look completely different and don't even match each other."
Oh, what?
Like, or I'll get like, why would you get tattoos that don't have meanings? And it's just like, bro, it's my body.
Yeah, I was good.
Look away, brother. Look
Thanks,
away.
Dad.
Like,
yeah, fucking hell.
But yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that, like, those comments annoy me, but people being like, "Oh, that tattoo's cool. Like, that's pretty." Like that, I love those comments. That's cool with me. But yeah, just the ones where people think they're entitled to talk about my body and what I do with it. It's just like, man.
That's so weird, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've been getting it more recently. Like I remember going off one stream. I was like, dude, like it's my body. You don't like it? Click the X, bro. Get off and
for
lock the
real.
computer. Like shut your computer down and go to bed. Like Grandpa Jesus.
Yeah, for real. The next question from the community: what other games besides Mario Kart do you play?
I recently got back into Overwatch. So but I'm trash. I am so trash at shooting games, but I enjoy them.
Okay.
Then besides that, Pokemon, but I haven't really played much Pokemon recently.
Yep. Favorite artist and favorite song of all time?
Oh crap.
It's not
Favorite
Nicki
song, I have
anymore, isn't
no
it?
idea. A favorite song, I would not have a clue.
It's not Nicki Minaj anymore, isn't it?
No, it's not Nicki Minaj. It's not Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
I feel like if I had to pick, like, I don't know. Like it'd probably be between like for a song, it'd probably be between like 505 by Arctic Monkeys and Tell Me Baby by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Ooh, okay.
As for artists, it's either Joji or Arctic Monkeys for me.
Wow, nice. Did you see Joji when he was here or not?
I didn't see him in concert, but I saw him at Laneway, I want to say, last year.
I think it was. Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, that was amazing for me because I've been listening to Joji since like Chloe Burbank, which was an album from
Far
from
out.
from when he was still Pink Guy
Yeah.
and doing Filthy Frank stuff.
That's a
I
beautiful
was
song.
listening to Joji way back then.
Yeah.
So it's been years and years coming to finally see him live.
Yeah.
Because he was meant to come like before lockdown. I think he had to cancel for whatever reason.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just so amazing to finally see him because yeah, I've been a fan of his work since he was still in his Filthy Frank era.
That's sick. Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to go on a first date, what's your ideal first date?
Oh god. First date, bloody hell. No idea. I genuinely do not know. I kind of just like don't care for dates, to be honest.
Nothing like so let's just say if someone said like, oh, I'm gonna take you out to a nice dinner and then we're gonna go like this, you're like, okay. It's just like whatever's.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd be like, hell no, bro. Just like take me to go get Pokemon cards, or like let's go to Kmart, or let's go to Hungry Jack's. Let's go to Hungry Jack's, dude. Like, nah, I don't want to go out to like a fancy ass restaurant or even a restaurant in general. Like, I don't know. I'll just rock up to your house, man, and be like, hey, what's up? Do you want to see my Pokemon card collection? Like, I just don't care about like making stuff fancy or not fancy, but like formal and putting a label on stuff being a date. Like,
yeah, right, yeah. It's more so the moments of enjoying with the person, and like if you say like, oh yeah, I'll show you my Pokemon cards or I'll show you my One Piece cards. That's more not like a date, but it's like, oh, I really enjoyed this special like moment that we.
Yeah, exactly. Had. It's just like for me, it's just like dates and going on like that's nice like when you're in a relationship for sure, but like just like casually seeing people, like I don't want the pressure of putting a label of a date on something. It's like I want to get to know you as a friend and as a person first.
Yep.
Like I don't want there to be pressure of like having to impress each other or whatever.
Gotcha.
Like I want to know you for you. So that's just how I see it.
Okay, that's a good answer. If you could live anywhere besides Australia, where would you live?
Japan.
Japan, okay.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. What got you into Mario Kart and why'd you piss off the entire Italian community on there?
No, not the Italian clan. All right. What got me into Mario Kart? So I got really into Mario Kart when Mario Kart Wii came out. Going back to when I broke my arm, either the first or the second time. I got really into Mario Kart and then I broke my arm. I actually learnt how to play Mario Kart one-handed with just like the Wii.
Oh shit!
With
Okay.
the Wii wheel. I actually got really good at playing one-handed. Like I unlocked the hardest character one-handed with the motion
Shit.
controls. Like the downfall was that I couldn't use items because like I
Yeah, of
only had the
course.
one hand.
Yeah.
So I just had to rely on RNG and not getting hit too much. But then after that, yeah, I just got really into it and then just started watching videos on YouTube of Mario Kart. And yeah, then the whole Italian Mario Kart clan thing, that one's a doozy. That one, I was streaming and I was in a lobby with a bunch of people. And this guy was from Italy. And I remember I got hit by an item, but there was like really big lag.
Right.
And I remember saying like, "Oh, bloody hell, like, you're lagging the lobby, like something like that." And like he took full offense. And him and his Italian clan came for me, being like, "You shamed our nation. You shamed Italy. You put shame on our name, and you disgraced us." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "My brother in Christ, I just said you're lagging the, but also I have no right to say that because I'm from Australia with crap internet. It was probably me who was the problem."
Yeah.
Like all I said was that you were lagging, and they were like, "You shamed us," and I'm like, "Oh, damn." So that's been a running joke in my community that like I pissed off the entire nation of Italy.
It's probably why it's in Japan and not Italy to go there. Hey.
Yeah, I definitely am not allowed to
Yeah.
set foot in Italy. That's for sure.
Yeah. They probably got your like visa blocked or something from there.
Oh yeah, I'm on the list. I'm on a list for sure.
No fly zone.
Yeah. Oh man.
Why do you hate it here?
I mean, if that question sounds like it's from Rax, so it's because Rax is here half the time.
Okay, I'm not asking that one. Do you get frustrated with the DGen or Kuma comments you get in chat?
Not really. I'm so used to it, honestly. I feel like even prior to streaming, I was a female bartender. So in person, I copped a lot of wacky comments and gross comments. And even growing up, I was like, you know, um, I was. Do you remember like the Q me days, like the anonymous question thing?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I was sent like death threats and stuff. Like I was sent some really awful stuff. So I
Jeez.
think I had to grow, and being a competitive dancer, the dance school I was at wasn't great either about making comments about like my body or whatever. So it's like I feel like I had to grow a thick skin
Yeah, right.
from when I was young, and then just keep growing a thick skin. So now that I'm on Twitch, like it's like child's play. I don't know. It's just like it just doesn't hurt me. It doesn't affect me.
Gotcha.
It's like if I'm having a bad day, sure, it might get to
Yep.
me for sure. But it doesn't bother me. Yeah, have to grow a thick skin for it for sure.
Absolutely. Where do you see yourself as streaming and content within the next 5 years?
Oh man. I mean, I hope I'm still doing it. That would be amazing. I would at least like to think that I've shifted a bit more to YouTube because that's way better long term, I would say. But yeah, I would absolutely love to still be doing content creation. It's definitely my passion and where I wanna, it's what I'm aiming to, do for a career.
Cool. Hope so. Where'd you get the Zorro shirt?
Zora shirt. This was online. I cannot remember, but if I remember, I'll chuck it in your Discord.
That's
For
pretty.
whoever
That's
that
pretty
was.
cool. I think I don't know who asked it, but I think I feel like it was Doug because he asked earlier. So
Fair.
there's a few long questions. If there's anything, I'm just gonna ask you to put anything in Rommy's Discord or anything like that. I'm just asking like the ones that are just short answers.
Sure.
Short questions. Do you have an other half, Mrs. or boyfriend?
It's something that I'm not going to like really tell people.
Yep.
Like I might, but I might not. But I just feel like that is something that I want to keep to myself. Just because I don't know, it's just it doesn't really need to be like, told to everyone.
It's also like no one else's business, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, exactly. I feel like when it is people's business, like when they know about it and it's kind of like a big part of the stream or whatever,
Yep.
people kind of do pry and get involved. And I mean, I know I had people messaging my mods again, like asking them questions about previous relationships I've had. And it's just like I don't want to have to deal with that again. But yeah, I think it's just like I want to keep that to myself.
Yep.
Yeah, like right now, like I'm not like I could not be, but I'm like not really gonna tell. Like obviously, I'm not gonna keep a secret, like
Yep.
the entire time and just no one knows ever. Like they might know, like I might make a post here and there, but I'm not gonna like it's not gonna be a big part of my streaming.
Yep. That's a good answer.
Hmm.
Thoughts and opinions on the Pokemon that is known as Sneasler?
Sneasler. Don't really have that many opinions. Kind of cool.
It's a stupid meme in my chat. Just
Oh, it
just
is?
just move on.
I mean, it's like
Wasn't
it's not a
expecting that.
look, it's not a bad Pokemon. It's not a bad Pokemon, but I wouldn't. It's not one of my faves.
Okay. If you could be in any TV show / movie universe, what would you choose?
Man, I would love to be. I would love to be in the One Piece universe. I want to be a.
You win a what? Sorry.
I want to be in the One Piece universe
Okay.
to be a pirate.
A pirate. Okay.
That sounds fun. If not that, then Breaking Bad.
What? Do you want to be Walter White or something?
Yeah, I want to be Walter.
Walter. All right. I just want to be Mike Ehrmantraut so I can have a pimento sandwich, honestly.
Oh hell yeah.
Jazzy, note that down. I'm just reading through a few. This is an interesting one. What were drives that you had while you first started streaming? Did you have doubts in yourself while having low viewership numbers in the beginning? And what kept you going streaming through that? Very good question.
In the beginning, because I was so clueless about like Twitch and I had zero expectations, I had no doubts in my numbers. If anything, like I was just thankful that people did come in the first place. Because for me, it genuinely was just starting streaming for something to do during lockdown, have a bit of fun. And I genuinely did think I was going to just give up and quit after 2 weeks, thinking, I don't know, maybe I got bored of it. But yeah, I just enjoyed it. And because I had zero expectations, or I hadn't really been watching other people and seeing them have success and being like, oh, I wish that were me. I guess for me, every milestone I hit, I was so grateful for. Incredibly grateful for. But I think when I was streaming for ages, pushing for partner, then I had a dip in numbers. That obviously, I think everyone has experienced that. That sucked. That definitely does it does hit the confidence a bit. I think at the end of the day, when that happened, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be grateful for the people who are still here and just create a strong community with them. And whatever happens, happens. And I've just been lucky enough that, more people are now joining that community. And yeah, I think the best mentality to have is people are still there. There are still people showing up and supporting. And, not everyone can say that. So just, yeah, I was just grateful for what I had in those low moments.
Okay. It's a really good answer. What's Bratty's favorite and most hated course in Mario Kart?
Oh crap. Okay, my favorite is Mute City. My most hated is probably N64 Rainbow Road. That track is trash. I hate that track with a passion.
Okay. I'll go through a few more, and then I'll wrap this up.
Easy.
Do you have any strange food combinations that you enjoy?
Strange food combinations. I wouldn't say that I do. The only kind of like two things maybe which I feel like are common anyways is a fish finger sandwich where you
Oh,
put fish fingers, tomato sauce in bread. That shit's fire. And then honestly, like what kind of goes hard is like chicken noodles with a bit of tomato sauce.
okay, that's not as egregious.
That's not as bad. That's I
Not
feel
as
like I feel like that one's pretty common. But I think yeah, fish finger sandwiches go hard.
Okay. We got one more here. When's the PBF giveaway? What's that?
For the sake of your YouTube video, I will not.
Okay. All right. I'll give you an extra one. Do you have any questions or anything last that you want to say or ask?
Hmm. I guess what are your goals for this year?
What are my
For your
goals?
stream? Yeah, I want to ask you. I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
How about you actually do an interview? How about you do the same thing, but you can interview me?
All right, done. You're gonna get really scuffed questions though.
That's fine. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
I'll answer your question though. I think I just want to be. It seems so. It seems so like, I guess, normie or, you know, like what's the word? I can't think of the word. But it's. I guess I just want to be able to get back to what I once was with the final version and the best community and version that we've had now. So it's like everything numbers wise, everything like it all cylinders firing. I feel like over the years in this last like 6 months particular, 5 months, I've gotten rid of the people who were there for fake shit. Or viewers and the community members who aren't there for the bigger picture. Now that I feel like that I've morphed everything, there's only a few more things that I want to improve on or to like grow with. I just want everything to be leveled for the first time in my life, where it's
Yeah.
I'm so happy in my relationship. I'm so happy with the group of people that give me the time of day. I'm happy for my good friends. I'm just very blessed to have so many good things. So I just need to balance a few more things, and it's slowly coming together. What I said today about my little announcement thing, it's just like small little achievements that it'll all be fully leveled, and I believe that we're gonna get there. So, and I think as a little actual thing that I want to achieve, I want to. I think I just want to interview someone big. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Just like, I don't know. If I could get like for that, I'll start a bit lower, like someone like Cray or like Zoil or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd
That's
be
true.
really cool. So I think just getting the word out and doing these, that's why I need your help, everyone else's help, just to put the word out that I can actually do this and carry myself, and I'll always pay that back tenfold to those who helped start it to grow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I believe in you. I reckon you absolutely have what it takes to be a big creator. You're the way you are so community focused is amazing, and it's like I don't think some people people don't come close to it. I feel like I don't see it often, like that closeness that you have with your community. And yeah, your drive, and you're always innovative. You always make up new ideas. Like it's unmatched. Like you are
Thank you.
always working your ass off, and I see it. So many people see it. And like you said, to me, like, it's a matter of it being your time. Like, your time will absolutely come. Like, it has to, because, you are what a content creator should be.
Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you. I just feel like just this like small idea that I had, and I had it for like 2 years, legit. I remember talking to people about it. I was like, I'd love to just see like a library for it. And I said this in the first episode and before then, like, there's a guy who did, his name's Mom's the Host. That's what like had the bridge between NA and OCE. And I'll always give those props because he was someone who changed that game. And now that I want to revive that and have an online category of like, let's just say, like, I'm going to chuck this up tomorrow on YouTube, and you look at it, you're like, fuck, that version of Romy is still the same you. Or like, just like having people here who you see in the chat, and you're like, I remember these guys, they still supported me and stuff. That's the reason why I wanted to do this. So thank you for coming on. Everyone, thank you for being here and listening to Romy do the third episode of the streamer interviews. I'm the streamer who interviews, and Romy has been the third guest. So everyone, please go follow her. Don't stop. It's your time. It's your time. So you gotta run with it.
Hell yeah.
So thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
me, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
We're always here and supporting you.
Likewise.
All right. Well, I'm gonna swap it back now. So thank you all very much. Bye. Bye, Romy. Thanks for being across here and bringing your community across. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Hell yeah. Have a good one.
You too. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right.